UFC 320 DraftKings GPP Builder Show. Do me a favor, smash the like button. We did miss last week, but we have been on an absolute roll on these videos. Optimals, I think in like 4 of the last 7 weeks, have had a nice little run. But regardless, you can get some strategies from this video and just talk about this specific set of contests, one that everybody likes to chase, that being the GPPs. We're going to max multi-enter here. I'm going to use a DFS Army Domination Station Optimizer, but strategies in general work with whatever optimizer you use. We're just going to talk about where you want to be overweight, underweight, general strategies for the card. You want to join a DFS Army, the best optimizer on the market. Link down below in the description. Use that code SNIPER, get yourself a discount. And if you are already a member, you know all the good stuff we have. In addition to the builder, we got cheat sheets, more strategy guides, the Discord for all of us, and tons of sports. That being said, let's dive into this contest. We'll start, as we always do, with the basic overview here. Especially on this card, I don't see any reason to go crazy with terms of lowering our base salary. Minimum salary, $49,400. I go tournament mode. I'm going to go 1 optimal. You can float between 1 and 2 optimal. Just kind of varies on the spread. I'm more concerned about my exposures. We're going to do 150. Your randomization, I think you need to be between 1 and 9%. I say it every week. Pick your favorite number. This week, I'm going to go with, you know what, UFC 320, 3 plus 2 plus 0, 5%. There's nothing scientific about it. Just want to get off of the exact optimals. Again, we're trying to reduce the amount of ties, give ourselves some variation, and really kind of rely on our exposures. Okay, now we're just going to go fight by fight here, and we're going to talk about where I want to be over and underweight, and then you start doing a little bit of variation here. Now, the big thing for this week is that there is a very limited number of live underdogs. That's going to make the upper range really hard to get to, because unless it's a straight run the table week for underdogs, you're probably going to need at least one dog to win, and there's not many, meaning like Atiba at 9,800, Yusuf Zalal at 9,400. They're going to be super hard to fit in and still make the optimal with all these favorites winning. That being said, let's start with Zalal. Regardless, I don't really like Yusuf Zalal, but 5% feels really low. When I first wrote the note, I assumed this was going to be higher than this. And he's more owned than Veronica Hardy. Honestly, as much as I don't like Zalal in this matchup, I am going to say I want to be over on Yusuf Zalal, 5 to 10%. Double the field on Zalal, I'm cool with. But one of the reasons also I want to do is I do think Josh Emmett is one of the live underdogs on the card, and I definitely want to be overweight to Josh Emmett. Probably in this range of 20 to 30%. Right? I'm taking a shot. He's plus 410, not likely, but if he wins, I'm going to be good. But a Zalal win here, I think, can also make me different. So I just like this fight overall. There's other fights on the card I'm going to take my foot off the gas. This is not one of them. Santos and Zhu Sang-yu. This mid-range fight becomes an important fight. My general recommendation here is you go over on the fighter you like, under the one you don't. I do like Daniel Santos this week, 25 to 35% there. I want to be under on Zhu Sang-yu. I don't want any more than like 15%. I'm on the Santos side of that fight. Patchy Mix, Jakob Wicklax, 22% for Patchy Mix. That feels pretty high to me. I'm going to cap it at like 17. I want to be under on Patchy. And Wicklax, 14%. This is just a fight I don't really love either side of here. I'm going to go really vanilla here and kind of let the DS decide and just float between 10 to 20% Wicklax. Veronica Hardy, 9,600. There's no way I want to play a lot of Veronica Hardy. I'll limit her to 5%. Brogan Walker, again, cheap dog. 3 rounds of action. So like, I want a little bit here. It's just 5 to 10%. Again, because if all the favorites win, somebody like Brogan Walker could pop on the optimal with 20 points. It's a weird scenario this week. Atiba, 35% ownership on Atiba. Just it's going to be so hard to get to. I actually am going to leave this blank for now and just see what happens. Tristan Vines, 5% ownership feels too high. I think he gets absolutely smashed. Outside of an Atiba like disqualification, I'm going to limit him to like 2%. And borderline going to full fade. If the DS doesn't give me any of him, then cool. Puna Soriano and Nikolai Vartanikov. This is one I think the winner of this fight ends up on the optimal. I think Vartanikov is trash, but if he wins, it's probably takedowns and he scores big on Puna. So this is a fight I want to be very overexposed to. Like, I'm debating it all in here and really shoving this fight in. It's minus 230 to end inside the distance. I think I want to be way over on Puna, like 50%, get 20% leverage. No more than, I think double the field is fine. And Vartanikov, I'll go ahead and play 15%, no more than 25. So really nearly an all in here. Want to be over on both guys. Vanderford Brahimaj, I have a hard time getting to any part of this fight. 20% Ramiz Brahimaj, that feels like a bit much. This is, again, one that I'm probably just going to see what the DS does on its first run here and not over-engineer things. Brahimaj is just live for something weird and dumb. I don't want to be terribly overweight to these guys. So I'm going to start with maxing them out at 25% each and make sure the DS doesn't go crazy. And I probably will adjust this the next round. Macy Chiasson, 8,600 against Yana Santos. I think it's a good spot. I'm going to get over on Macy and under on Santos and fire away some more dogs here. No more than 10% Yana. I am going to be over on Macy mostly because of price here. The price on Macy is really interesting here. Especially I'm going to go under on Pfeiffer and I'm probably not going to be as high as the world on year. Yeah, 35% year is a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to make up some room here with this Macy somewhere in this 30 to 40 range. I'll be under to Yana. Marab Divalshvili, Corey Sandhagen. I just think the winner of this fight's on the optimal. It's going to be hard for it not to be unless just Marab is so active, man. I'm going to go ahead and just play somewhere in this ballpark of like 60 to 80%. Clearly, I want no more than 40% Sandhagen. This gets me over on both guys. Let me see what the DS does on round number 1 here. But this is an all-in fight for me. Prohaska, Roundtree. I want over on Roundtree. I don't think he's getting enough credit. Yuri, 35% is high, man. He's not incredibly high volume. I'm going to take a risk here and go under a little bit on Yuri. Not like... I'm just going to even them out. Pfeiffer and Abus. Abus is another one of those guys I do think is live, so I definitely have to get overweight on the dogs you think can win. Pfeiffer, I'm going to try and limit this right around field weight on Pfeiffer because if he wins, I do think it's big. My biggest takeaway from this fight is I want to be over on Abus. Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Probably one that I am going to be similar to the Yuri fight. I'm probably going to be a little bit sneaky underweight here. Like 40% Magomed. Like this 30 to 40% range feels fine. Like he's not guaranteed to put up a huge number. In fact, I could live at 25% Magomed. These guys aren't high volume strikers. You get a fight that ends in the they don't get it done in the first round. Something second to third is not going to end up on the optimal. The bonus rounds don't really help him too much. I'm pretty comfortable going underweight to this fight. I think that's another place where I'm going to be different this week. Shabazian and Muniz. I'm all about Shabazian. But I'll go ahead and run back a little bit of Muniz just in case in this fight. But this is one of the spots I'm going to take a stand on. In terms of where I want to be the Andre Muniz, I don't know. Around field weight's fine. Farid Bashara is a spot I do not like. This is too much. Chris Gutierrez, I think, is fine and live. 15% probably a bit much. And I definitely don't want to be over the field on Bashara. So that's our first round of exposures here. We'll now hit run and start making our adjustments. And that is a strategy in GPP. It's not who I think is going to win. It's to what level, who's going to score good. Let's start going over and under. I get 74% Marab. I'm good with that. It got me 48% Atiba. I don't hate that as long as my other ownerships are in line. It means I had some more salary than I thought I was going to have. Puna gets me in this range. Now, every week we've had to do massive adjustments here. Let's see how the DS did. So Shabazian's in range. Kiasan's in range. Emmett is in range. Probably a little more Emmett than I want, but that's still fine. Yeri's in range. Pfeiffer is in range. Brahimaj, Sandhagen, Ankalaev, Willie Cat Santos, Abus, Alex Pereira, Roundtree's in range. Gutierrez barely in range. Muniz is in range. Patchy Mix is in range. Vertenikov is in range. Wicklack's bottom range, fine. That's probably a little more Santos than I want, but I'm not going to over-engineer this one here. I think everything here is fine. Farid, I'm way under. I'm way under on Vanderford, so if he... I think I'm probably fine with this. It's a stand to take on the card. Vanderford could bite me, but at that price range, do I really want to look other places? They have one lineup with Tristan Vines. I need to figure out real quick. That means 27 fighters used. I full faded one fighter. Who did I not see? Let me just go by the DS here. It's probably whoever the DS has ranked the lowest in terms of fantasy points per dollars. It looks like it's probably Brogan Walker. No, I got 8% Brogan. All right. Where else are we looking here? Is it Muniz? No, Roundtree, Vertenikov. It's got to be somebody I didn't force a minimum on. Oh, it could be Veronica Hardy at 9,600. That is high. It is indeed. It is indeed Veronica Hardy, and I'm totally fine full fading that. So you know what, guys? Way easier than the last few weeks. Could be good, could be bad, but everybody kind of fell in range. I'm happy with how much Atiba I got. You could probably maybe get a little bit Edmund and a little bit less of like Yana, but you know what? I'm not going to over-engineer it. Everybody fell in my range. So do me a favor, guys. Smash the like button for me. We'll try and keep this winning streak going. Hopefully you join up at DFS Army. Link down below. Drop me a comment with what your favorite GPP play of the day is. Good luck tomorrow for UFC 320, and we'll see you next time.